deck, we've got what should be a great matchup between the Kansas City Chiefs and the Los Angeles Chargers. I'll have scores around the league for you at the half, but it's time for a little football. So we'll hand it over to our broadcast team, Brandon Gaudin and Charles Davis.
Okay, Coach, football, of course, back in L.A. and back at StubHub Center in Carson, California. Straight ahead, it's a matchup of unbeatens between the Kansas City Chiefs and the Los Angeles Chargers. Hi, everybody. Brandon Gaudin alongside Charles Davis. And, Charles, we take a look at this Charger club entering play here. They've been playing their best football of the year, winners of 4 in a row.
And the offense last week, they had things humming. If you're a defensive player, you may get overshadowed a little bit, but you're really buoyed by what your offense is doing.
Meanwhile, for the visitors here, the Chiefs, we're in October now, so everybody should be coming into form, shouldn't they?
They really should, and what you have now...
Certainly the game of the weekend, maybe the game of the year, the battle of the unbeatens as we get underway. That's fielded in the end zone. And he won't return this one. He'll go down to a knee, and they'll start at the 25. So here's the Charger offense making their way out. And leading them out there, we get a look at their 6'3" quarterback.
And what's a quarterback's best friend?
Balance?
I think you're right. I agree with you. You know, a lot of guys would say great receiver, right? A terrific offensive line. But I agree with you, balance, because if you can run the ball effectively, that just opens things up for guys who want to throw it and gives you easier passing lanes and easier coverages to read.
And they said balance will be a focus in this one.
Yeah, they don't want it all just heaped on his shoulders, I don't believe. I think they're
trying for Brown, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Jalen Ramsey. And they'll take over inside the 45 at the 44-yard line.
Well, partner, that was not a good omen right there. The very first play from scrimmage, and you just want to give yourself a nice, simple throw and hopefully get yourself into a rhythm. That is the last thing you're expecting. And now you put your defense in a tough spot right from the word go.
And here he'll be brought down a little shy of the 35 at the 36. A good pickup there, 8 yards on the first down completion.
Seeing that play and understanding just how tough it is to cover tight ends, especially the ones running around the NFL nowadays, makes me glad I didn't make it in that league. I would have had a really difficult time.
But now you get to sit up here with me.
Yeah, and that's fun, isn't it? And what a really nice gain right there on first down for them. Brings up a nice second down for them. I do believe we'll see a little bit more of this as this game progresses, because when you can have that type of a game in the middle of the defense, it hurts them in so many ways, because most teams like to be strong down the middle. And if you can sting them there, that opens things up for you on the outside as well.
But that's where their big tight end, is so good, that middle third, the seam routes, the end routes. Yeah, you're right. Probably see more of that.
Yeah, it takes a lot of courage and fortitude to go in the middle as well, and he's got it.
The numbers for Baldwin last week: 3 catches, 66 yards, and a touchdown. Here's Stafford. This will be caught at about the 5. And the stop will come inside the 5 at the 4. Only a yard on the completion. It's 2nd and goal. So a look here at the key inactives, and we got this list before the game down on the field. And they tell us the same thing every time, don't they? Next man up.
No excuses. Be ready to play. That's the mantra of every organization. The key is having guys on the roster who are capable of filling in and playing at a high level. That's when you know you've drafted well, scouted free agents well, and stocked your team just the way you're supposed to.
Back to throw, Stafford. This is caught. They're able to hold him to 3 there, and that leads to a 4th and goal.
Well, we hear so often how tackling has become almost a lost art in the NFL game. But it's so important to tackle well on these receivers, especially in a play like this one. 3rd down, they gave him the underneath stuff. You got to go up and make the tackle right away.
They took it all the way to the 1, but in the end, opt for 3.
Just doesn't sound right, does it? If you get all the way down to the 1-yard line, isn't that supposed to be a play in the end zone that culminates in a touchdown for your team?
And per usual, it felt like the guys on the sideline wanted to go ahead and go for it.
Of course they did, but of course head coach, It defers back to him, and he made the decision, let's get 3 out of this, make sure we get some points.
They go back to the air here after the INT on the last drive. And incomplete as he was knocked as he threw it, and it took the ball off course.
Nothing open downfield, and he had to get that one out in a hurry because he just knew he was about to take a big shot. Probably couldn't get his legs into the throw. Became an all-arm throw, trying to check it down to his running back. Incomplete.
It's complete to Brown, right side. And they're able to get this one across the 35. It'll go as a gain of 11 and a Charger first.
I don't care who you put on him. He's going to be a handful in one-on-one throws.
Yeah, right now, you're right. They're in man-to-man. Maybe needs some safety help.
I would say that'd be a good idea. Double team him somehow. I'm going to have to make someone else beat me rather than let him shred my defense.
Defensively, here's how they will line it up for Kansas City. They come into play number 12 in the NFL against the run.
They're not an elite unit. They're not, as what you'd say, the top part of the league against the run. They're a solid group, though. They do a good job. What they're looking for in this one, though, is an elite performance.
Now he'll dump it underneath to his running back, complete. And he'll get it out a couple yards shy of midfield at the 48. It goes as a gain of 8, and it moves the chains.
I know most of the time when the ball's in the air, you're thinking wide receiver, tight end, but running backs, they can be a big part of any passing offense nowadays.
And he'll be brought down somewhat awkwardly here, and a late flag as well. I think this one's going to be a face mask.
Defense.
Officials so cognizant of that call nowadays, but that one looked pretty easy.
Yeah, you're right. They took out of their hands having to wonder whether it's a 5-yard or a 15-yard, inadvertent or not. Now, it's a lot easier. You see it, you call it.
A carry now for McKissick. And nothing doing. He's immediately taken down at line of scrimmage. Officially no gain on the play, and it's second down.
Early down stuff's to put this offense in a precarious position. We know that securing the point of attack, especially against the big-bodied guys in the middle of this D, has got to be priority one.
And down he goes. They sack him back right around the 41-yard line. And we say it all the time, have to be able to get rid of the ball sooner than that.
You have to help your offensive line out. They're going to protect you as best they can. And if you get 3 to 5 seconds to throw the ball, they're doing a really nice job. But when you hold it and give up a sack, you're really almost discrediting their work.
Trying for Brown, and it's intercepted. Picked up by Jalen Ramsey. There he goes left side. And he will score. Touchdown, Kansas City. Third down, passing down. They throw the extra defensive back in there for a nickel package, and it worked out.
Yeah, and it's not anything that you would think is just great strategy. It's just that when you have 5 defensive backs on the field on an obvious passing down, it's a lot tougher to complete a pass. And on that play, they completed it just to the wrong team, and it cost them 6 points.
That'll be taken in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll fight forward to about the 27-yard line. They'll break the huddle, come up on 2nd and 8 at the 27-yard line.
Here we go.
Off play action. McMillan. And it's hauled in by Nick Vannett. And they'll take him down at the 31-yard line. 4 yards on the completion, and it sets up a third down.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation,
and the Chiefs are going to get him. And they weren't in zone coverage. They were in man, and each man did his job.
And that looked like vintage, old-school coverage, didn't it? Man coverage reminded me of an old Raiders team. They had a Hall of Famer at one corner and a Defensive Player of the Year at the other, and they just locked people down.
The 4th down run successful. Now they look to pay it off on 1st down. A first carry now for Alex Collins. And he's going to be met at the line of scrimmage and taken down. Call it no gain on the play, and it'll be 2nd down.
And when the defense wins and gives up no yardage on a running play, that's something they can build on and carry themselves forward throughout the game.
Found a little room there as he's up to about the 37. 8 yards on the ground there, and now they're looking at a 3rd and 2.
And there we saw one of the downsides of blitzing. Don't fit the run quite as well because you're headed towards the ball.
Play went nowhere. Losing yardage. It'll be back at the 36 on the play. And that's going to bring up a 4th down. And not what he was hoping for there, as this will hit in the end zone for a touchback. And now out on the field, here comes Los Angeles. And on the last go-around, they really couldn't get anything going.
They had to punt from deep inside their own territory, which means you're going to lose the field position battle as a general rule. What they're looking for now is a little more consistency, move the ball at least a few times on offense, get a couple of first downs, and hopefully flip the field.
Yeah, just something to build off of. That's what they're looking for here. He'll get 5 out of the scramble. It's 2nd down.
Yeah, he only gets a few yards on 1st and 10, but he's better off doing that than throwing an incompletion or even worse, an interception.
Looking to throw on 2nd down. McMillan. And his throw here's incomplete.
And it is true. You can draft the fastest. You can draft the most athletic guys. But if they don't know the art of positioning, sometimes it's all for naught. In this case, in the right spot, helped force the incompletion.
Yeah, but had his hands on it for a second. Would have been a tough catch, though. Falls incomplete. It's caught. Nelson. And he's going to get to the 31, enough for the 1st down. First catch for him on the afternoon, and it results in a 1st down. We've seen quite a bit of the short passing game here early on 1st quarter, haven't we?
We have, and I think it works a couple of ways for this team because, number one, you throw the short game until they stop it. And if they're not going to stop it, you keep throwing it, and occasionally you'll break a tackle and turn it into a bigger game. Also, if they start to creep up, start to pressure receivers, now you go over the top, take it deep, and now you get some of those big shots downfield. Never make the mistake that the slot receivers, especially the little guys like we're watching here, are just quicker than fast. A lot of them combine quickness and speed, and they catch a lot of footballs, as we just saw there.
The linebacker, Anthony Hitchens, there on the stop.
Vision is so important for the man in the middle because his ability to look through all the clutter that's happening in front of him, diagnose a play, and then go make it and finish it, that's when the great ones know that they have the goods.
And he'll go down, but not before getting this inside the 30. That one 28 yards on the ground.
I have to admit, I'm excited by that play call and the end result because this is a team that's down big early in the 1st quarter, and a lot of teams will just panic, abandon the playbook, and just start firing the ball all over the place. It's way too early for that. Stick to what works for you.
Down double digits, and we talked about their game plan being both running and passing there. You're right. They're sticking to the game plan, getting the ground game going.
A lot of football left to be played.
Back now to begin the 2nd quarter with Charles Davis, Brandon Gaudin. It's the Chargers here with a football. And they're on the move here. They've got it 1st and 10. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he's going to take this one down to about the 23-yard line.
Here we go. Red 38.
Here's McKissick. And on this one, he'll get to the 15, right at the 15-yard line. It's an 8-yard pickup and leads to a new set of downs.
Exactly what they needed right there because they needed to use the ground game to take some pressure off because the quarterback's been struggling a little bit.
From the red zone now, they'll look to throw. He's got the tight end, Vanette, and he'll go down here at the 12-yard line. The completion good for 3, and it's 2nd down.
And, partner, I think that was a great example that not all tight ends are created equal because everything was right. Got the completion, but he's not one of the more dynamic guys in the league. So even though he caught it, couldn't turn it into much more.
And the stop will come inside the 5 at the 4. It's an 8-yard pickup, and it leads to a 1st and goal.
I hope we give enough respect to the big guys up front because they have been getting it done on this drive. The holes have been large, and they've been barreling through them, picking up first downs.
He'll get it up the middle. Give him 2 yards on that one. 2nd and goal now.
That run didn't get very far, and I think when you're looking at his dimensions, he's a little bit on the smaller side. He's counting on the big guys up front to escort him in, and they couldn't create any kind of space for him, could they?
Yeah, didn't get the push they needed. That'll be a loss of a yard, and it leads to a 3rd down.
He has elite instincts from his linebacker spot. He's able to diagnose the run and flies in like a missile to stop that one behind the line of scrimmage.
From the gun on third down, McMillan. And this is caught. He's got it. Touchdown, L.A. Brandon Coleman, his second touchdown on the season. And the Chargers are able to make this a close game again. Extra point tried good by Gano. And that'll cut it to 3 at 10-7. So just a 3-point game now as they send this one away. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Stafford on first down. His throw incomplete. The intended target, Doug Baldwin. That'll bring up second down.
Had an open man that time, but ended up putting a little too much heat on it, don't you think, partner?
Absolutely. Just needed a touch more air under it. Instead, he fired an absolute bullet. They'll run it now out of the gun. And able to stay on his feet past the 30 to about the 33-yard line. A nice job to get 8 there after the incompletion, and now they'll look at a 3rd and 2 coming up.
And that's the kind of run that gets everyone excited on offense. And, you know, oftentimes the guys who carry the ball, the ones in the huddle doing the chirping, right now I think it's the offensive line telling them, run it again. We are right there about to break a big one.
Throwing there, but this pass is going to wind up incomplete. And a trick play doesn't work. Good reaction there defensively, and it'll be 4th down. He gets this one away, and boy, it's another boomer. Fair catch called for and made at the 16 or maybe the 17-yard line. So possession goes over here on the punt. And it'll be Charger football here as they take over.
Let's go! What?
They will run it. It's McKissick. And he is met at the line of scrimmage, and he goes down right there. No gain on the play. It'll be second down. And he got off the end there very quickly to make that play.
Yeah, it was almost like the bullet train, wasn't it? I mean, just zoom. Quick, quick, quick. And what a terrific play, holding them to no gain.
Wide open receiver complete. 30, 20. And he just falls short down at the 1-yard line. A big play there on the catch and run. 82 yards. A good grab there by the former Central Michigan man, Antonio Brown.
And he ate up some real estate on the catch, too, didn't he? I think the most impressive...
Rush coming, and he's taken down.
Well, surprise, surprise. 1st and goal at the 1. No quarterback sneak. No running play. They decided to throw for it, but the pressure got to him quickly and put the quarterback down.
They'll give it to him up the middle. And he's going to fight his way forward here for a modest gain. The Chargers on 3rd down. They've hit 2 for 4 thus far. This is 3rd and goal.
Here we go! What?
Operating from the gun, McMillan. And he takes it in for a Charger touchdown. Antonio Brown, his 2nd touchdown on the season. And the Chargers are able to strike for 6.
This has to be great for the psyche of this offense. Presented with bad field position, they didn't let it stop them. They rolled downfield and scored a touchdown.
Gano the extra point, and the lead is now 14-10. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. That'll be taken in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. The drive starts with a run by Collins. And he'll go down right at the 30-yard line. The All-Pro Von Miller there on the tackle.
I call that play a success. A nice inside run sets up a very manageable 2nd down. A very solid gain on that play.
On second down, Collins. And he's able to take this one up to the 35-yard line. At 5 yards on the play there, the drive will continue.
That's a good, nice, crisp run for a first down. I wonder if the defense might have been loosened up a little bit, maybe anticipating a pass instead of the run that they got.
They go play action here on first down. Baldwin with it over the middle. And they're going to have this across midfield and inside the 45. A good pickup there, a 22. Those are the kinds of plays right there that show you why he's the number 3 man in the NFL in terms of receiving yards.
Also tells you there's a full combination of what he's got going in his game. You name it, from route running to catching the football. That's why he's able to produce those types of numbers.
A good pickup there, a 22.
I know at retirement ceremonies, a rocking chair is often one of the major gifts, but don't give this guy one just yet. He may be plus 30, but my goodness, how about that effort?
Yeah, he's not that old. Hey, I'm on the wrong side of 32.
You okay? You feeling all right?
I'll be all right.
Okay, good.
I just need some chocolate and a box of tissues. Stafford. And the hit jarred it loose. It's incomplete.
Didn't have a receiver open downfield, and as it turned out, couldn't even find his outlet man because of the coverage. It was way too tight, unable to find anyone open.
On third down, it's Lewis, and he will have the first down before he's brought down at the 3. They're able to convert on third down, and that sets up a first and goal.
At this stage of the game, the run-pass numbers are a little bit out of whack because most of their yardage has come through the air. But in a sense, that just sets things up for big runs like that because the defense might be a little bit off balance. He'll pick up another first down with that run.
Trying to punch it in with Collins. That gets him 3 yards closer here as it brings up second and goal.
Well, he did get a taste the previous week. He got into the end zone trying his best to get there in this game. So far, he's been denied.
On second down, here's Stafford. And he just chucked that one out of bounds, out of everyone's reach. Maybe a wise call not to take a sack in this part of the field. It brings up third down.
It's been my observation there's been a nice variety of play calling defensively. You and I often talk about an offense's ability to keep...
And he is in. Touchdown, Kansas City. Alex Collins, his 6th touchdown of the season. And the Chiefs are in for 6. Able to punch it in on third down makes it easier for those guys on the sideline. They didn't have a 4th down decision to make.
Yeah, could you feel the exhale? Because they were already thinking ahead, as all the good coaching staffs do. Anticipating, will we have to make the call? They already had it lined up, never even got to it.
Out comes his field general once more, leading his offense back onto the field. And maybe he's starting to wave the white flag a little bit. He's playing pretty well, but the pressure...
Come on, let's go! Brand 38! Brand 38!
Throwing on first down. McMillan caught by Nelson left side. 7 yards to pick up on the pitch and catch. So 2 minutes to go in a wild first half. And we remind you, coming up at the half, we'll join who, Charles?
The coach.
The coach, Jonathan Coachman, standing by in Orlando. He'll have stats and scores from games in progress, as well as scores from earlier today.
The coach.
We get slap happy up here sometimes. And he'll get it out near the 40 to the 39. 3 yards there, good enough to keep the drive moving. On first and 10, McMillan throwing for his running back, and he's got him complete. And he'll get up near the 45. They'll spot it at the 44. 5 yards on the pickup, and it'll be a second down. From the gun, McMillan finding his safety valve here. That's complete. And this one's going to go the wrong way, losing yardage back at the 42. It'll wind up being a loss of 2, and they're going to have a third down. Off the play fake, McMillan. He gets it to Brown, complete. And he'll go down, but not before getting this inside the 30. Give him 30 yards there. So in the second quarter, he's already up over 100 yards receiving now.
And isn't 100 the magic number for a really good game for a receiver? So he got a chance to really shatter that and have a profound effect on this game.
And it pops free. The collision there jarred the ball loose and brings up second down.
It's a lot of contact going on there, and in the end, unable to keep two hands on the football and bring it into his body.
Everything looked pretty good until the finish. Throwing again on 2nd and 10. McMillan. And this time he's got the hookup. It's complete. And now prior to this 3rd and 1, we're going to get a timeout here, as the clock will stop with 45 seconds to go in the first half. The Chargers on 3rd down. They've converted 4 times out of 6. Not bad. They're up against a 3rd and 1 situation. Looking to throw. McMillan. He's going to flip one out here to his running back. Now the Chargers will use the second of their timeouts, as they'll stop it with 40 seconds remaining in this first half. This quarterback now closing in on a 200-yard first half through the air. It's 1st and 10.
Let's go! Grand 38! Grand 38!
Operating from the gun, McMillan. And the tip there altered the ball flight, and it falls incomplete. It'll be 2nd down. They don't get the hook up there, but you really have to marvel at how precise he's been throwing the football these last couple weeks.
Oh, that's the perfect word for it, precise, because if you're at 70% or better 2 weeks in a row.
Nowhere to escape, and he goes down.
The amount of sacks that they've absorbed in this game is absolutely extraordinary. Let's just face it. This offensive line, flat out, cannot handle this pass rush. It's been demonstrated time and time again.
Throwing on 3rd and long. McMillan is going to go up top for the end zone. And he bats it away, and it falls down incomplete. The veteran Morgan Burnett there on the coverage. And Gano's kick is right through. And that will knock things up here late in the first half. Well, maybe a nice psychological boost there just to get back to even with that field goal as we head towards half.
Coaching 101 always says at halftime, play it like it's 0-0 on the scoreboard. Well, in this case, it's level, right? Same score each side. Just start over. Now you get the second half to play.
Likely time for one final snap as they start out 1st and 10. And we will likely not see another play here as they take the knee and head into the intermission all tied. So thanks to the late field goal, we are all tied up heading to intermission. As we send you to our EA studios in Orlando, here's Jonathan Coachman with our EA Sports Halftime Report.
Okay, Brandon, thank you very much. More from you, too, in just a bit. But first, let's get everybody caught up with what's going on around the NFL. Here,
due to time constraints, we move you forward in today's broadcast to the beginning of the 3rd quarter. And ready to get the party started for the second half. It was an even first half, all tied on the scoreboard. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. On 1st down at Stafford. And that'll be incomplete. So, Charles, tie game here. What are your keys as we continue to play this second half?
I know people think it's always trite when you say the same things over and over, but they're tried and true in the game of football. Who's going to block better? Who's going to tackle better? In this case, to me, it's turnovers. You've got to take care of the football in order to win the game.
And he'll take this up near the 35, maybe the 34.
Getting had a ton of success here so far, but you get the feeling that he might be on the verge of popping one.
Yeah, even on that one, there was a little bit of a hole, but it closed there quickly at the end. And he will have a 1st down as they get him to the ground at the 37. It's a gain of 4 there, and it gives him a new set of downs.
Everyone understood their role on that play. 3rd and 1. You know the defensive guys, they're trying to get down and get low and get leverage on the offensive lineman, but they didn't allow that to happen. They created a crease and allowed him to get through for a 1st down.
A solid run on 1st down. Gain of 7 leaves him with a 2nd and 3.
Well, no matter how they phrase it, staying on schedule, staying ahead of the sticks, whatever you want to call it, 7 yards on first down, that fits the bill.
And he'll get it out a couple yards shy of midfield at the 48. Just 4 yards on the pickup, but that's good enough to extend the drive.
So many teams want to throw the ball in this situation nowadays, but I love watching a team that has enough confidence to go ahead and run the football. In that situation, that's almost a tendency breaker.
And a scary incompletion, almost picked off. It would have been their first INT of the game. Instead, second down.
And that's one he's got to be happy to have back. There wasn't a hole open in the zone.
You'd have to think on early downs like that first down there, need to be a little bit more careful.
Yeah, fortunately for him, got a couple more downs to play with.
And not even back to the line of scrimmage this time as they're on him quickly once more.
I saw Von Miller in college at Texas A&M, and all I kept hearing about was his speed off the edge to the quarterback. But what impressed me is balance and his ability to take on blocks and be a force in the run game, as we just saw there.
A throw there, but that's going to wind up incomplete.
What's the old adage? Be quick, but don't hurry? Well, that went right out the window there. He was hurried, harassed. That ball had to be gotten rid of, otherwise he was going to get sacked.
Now we'll look at the Chargers offense. They get ready for their first possession of the second half. First half showed us some pretty good offense. Tie game, we'll see what the second half brings.
And it'll be interesting because I think both sides feel pretty good about what their offenses are doing. Gotta wonder what adjustments are being made defensively to try and get a spark and maybe slow down the other side.
But here, do you change up anything on this opening drive?
Not offensively, you don't. You got everything going your way. You've probably prepared for maybe some change-ups you might expect, but overall, you like what your game plan's showing you.
Back to throw now on 2nd and 10. And that'll be incomplete. We do have a penalty flag down, however. Let's see what that's about.
Defense.
This home crowd, they're happy with that call.
I like the way you said happy there, right? The so-called good guys didn't get a call. They feel like it's been that way all afternoon. You feeling their pain?
They finally got one.
Yes, they did.
And he rifles one incomplete.
Let's face it, you can run the route tree as many times as you want, get in sync, practice it, do all those things. But once you get to game speed, it doesn't always time up quite that well. That one goes incomplete.
Let's go! What?
They'll run with McKissick. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. It'll go as a gain of 11 and a Charger first.
That's pretty much meat and potatoes right there, wasn't it? Just go right at them and let your big horse charge up the middle. Not too fancy there, was it?
Nothing fancy at all, challenging that defense. And on that go-around, the offense won the challenge. Give him a couple on the carry there, 2nd and 8.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
And his throw is incomplete.
Well, this at least is the right idea. I think they've got to get the tight end more involved.
He had just one target in the first half, incomplete. Now incomplete here with the first target of the second half.
Yeah, should not stop them at all from going back to him, though. Find him. Find him.
Back to throw. McMillan throwing for his running back, and he's got him complete. And he'll be brought down at the 48-yard line. 6 yards on the pickup, and that'll bring up 4th down. Instead of throwing it downfield, Charles, they just tried to dump it underneath there. You like the call?
I do. I think it's a high percentage play because you get the completion, and what you're counting on is your back to use his legs and his elusiveness to make people miss and pick up the first down. In this case, it didn't happen.
Now a play fake here on 1st down. He's going to air this out for Baldwin. He's got him in, complete. And they finally get him down at the other 46. A big play there for KC, and even 50 yards.
I don't care how many times you tell the story, it never loses its luster for me. Doug Baldwin, undrafted out of Stanford, and plays like a #1 receiver should in the NFL. I don't care how you cover him. I don't care that his size isn't great. he's the one that typically comes up with the football.
Absolutely. His roots go all the way back to Gulf Breeze, Florida, where he's from, right on the water near Pensacola, and then, of course, to Stanford, and, boy, he's been good. 7 yards on the carry. Make it 3rd and 4 coming up.
Well, that's why the guy with the headsets is down there. All right, they know what they're doing because they got stuffed on a running play on 1st down. And I think myself and probably the fans were saying throw the football in this situation. But he knew what he was doing, called another run, and now they've got 3rd and short.
It's a pickup of 6 and good enough to move the chains.
As an unbiased observer, I think it would have been interesting to see what they would have done if they hadn't gotten the 1st down there. But since they did, I guess the point is moved.
And they're right there in that middle ground, field goal range, punt, go for it. But as you said, they picked it up. And all the way inside the 15 before they drop him. A good pick up there of 20 yards. Stafford now 6 for 6 since coming back out of the locker room. It's 1st and 10. They'll run it now out of the gun. Showed off the juke, but still corralled shy of the 5 at the 6-yard line. Now it appears we've got a Chief moving pretty gingerly down there. We'll step aside and come back to Carson after this.
Let's go, now, let's go. Set. At 80.
To throw on 2nd down is Stafford. Throwing over the middle, and it's incomplete.
Brandon, some of those windows to throw the football that exist when you're between the 20s, they don't exist when you're this close to the goal line. But as a former DB, I liked it closer to the goal line. Tighter windows made it easier to cover people, actually.
And he'll go down. Brought down at the 20-yard line. They've been moving the ball well offensively, really getting into a groove. Last play, pass completion. Now, finally, the defense gets there.
And you have to find a way to disrupt their rhythm. Do you do it with coverage, or do you do it with pressure? They elected to go with pressure, and it was the right call.
And his kick is right there. It's good. And with that, they take the lead here, 20-17. So the drive stalls out inside the 15-yard line, but they do get 3.
And I've talked with enough players nowadays, and when they have these types of kicks, that no one says to their guy, hey, that's just like making an extra point, piece of cake. Because the extra point is not a piece of cake anymore. But kicking a field goal from that distance, just give him confidence and let him knock it through.
Now out comes their leader and the captain of this offense back onto the field. And he has not really been able to have a lot of comfort back there. So they'll come up 1st and 10 now from the 33. Now they try the right side here. And he'll work this one up to about the 38. 5 yards on the carry. Good pickup on 1st down.
Partner, I think from our experience together, we have learned that most offensive coordinators are going to tell you, if I'm going to run the football on 1st down, I've got to get at least 4 yards. They got 5 here. They've got to feel pretty good about that one.
They'll go again with McKissick. And he'll be stopped right at midfield. That one good for 13 and a Charger first.
It looks way too easy right now. 2 carries, 2 straight 1st down runs. The eyes are carrying the legs to the proper hole, but they're being created by an offensive line that has the leverage game going for them right now. Lower than the defensive front, creating space, and he's finding it in a big way. Gotta love what they're doing on offense right now.
Another nice gain, 16 yards there, and a 1st down again.
When this offense can get their tight ends involved, they can move the football. Here, a nice route, able to look it in, and picks up the 1st down.
And he'll get a little over 2, maybe a full 3 down to the 32-yard line.
Well, he's looking for some running room, and there wasn't a whole lot of it there on that play. I think he was lucky to get a couple of yards out of it. Because those defenders, they were rallying to the football pretty quickly.
To throw on 2nd down, McMillan. And he's taken down. A Chiefs sack. Derek Barnett in there to bury him for a loss of 11.
Brandon, I think you understand the type of afternoon this offensive line is having. It is a long one for them. Long for you to spend it with me. Long for them trying to block those guys. They've given up a whole lot of sacks, and the speed and quickness of that defensive line is eating them alive.
So on trots the field goal unit, and wow, this is going to be a challenge here. They spot it on the midfield stripe, so it is a 60-yard attempt here. That's leaking to the right, and he missed it by a foot or two. It's no good, and this score will stay right where it is. The Chiefs in good position to start out as they come up 1st and 10.
Everything looked good. Good snap, good hold. Sometimes, though, the ball just doesn't want to go where you want it. And this one winds up no good.
Here's a first down run with Collins. And able to push his way forward here for a good little gain. They give him 4 yards there. It'll be 2nd and 6.
I call that play a success. A nice inside run sets up a very manageable 2nd down. A very solid gain on that play.
And they're not going to get to the line to run another play. So we will switch ends as the 3rd quarter has come to a close. We'll return with more after this. This is the NFL, and it's on And again, it's Collins. And he'll get it inside the 40 to the 39. 7 yards there, good enough to move the sticks. And I'm guessing you'd say this is kind of the key here. Grind out some yardage, work on that clock, see if you can continue to tick it down.
Definitely, you want to bleed things out at this point, right? Continue to possess the football, gain some yardage, and put the onus on the defense. Do they have to use timeouts? What are they going to do to stop you? You're taking charge.
Give him 15 yards on that one. Kansas City has a first down. Tell you what, he's been able to put the ball in some tight spots all game long. That throw, no different.
Yeah, a lot of people would call it a gutsy type of a throw. I think he looks at it as, I can...
Now look at this. They get the turnover they needed. It's intercepted. Picked off by Trumaine Johnson. A critical error there in a tight game in the 4th.
All you talk about is taking care of the football, and especially with a lead here in the 4th quarter. Turning it over, now the door is open for the opposition.
Just in general, when you're passing in the 4th quarter with a lead, no matter at what point, you got to be super careful.
Got to be careful, and sometimes you can be so careful that you end up running yourself into an error. So many times you hear today's NFL described as a space game. Get your best players into space with the football in their hands. That's why sometimes you just swing it out to your runner, get him out in the flat, and let him have a chance to make people miss an open field.
And he takes it all the way down to the 28-yard line. It's a big one there for the Chargers. 41 yards.
Well, partner, I'm not sure how this drive's going to end, but how about the way they flip field position there? A nice attacking play that picked up a heck of a chunk of yardage.
Looking to throw. McMillan. So they took a shot on first down, but couldn't connect.
Trying to erase that deficit all at once. One big shot. He took it. Unfortunately for him, incomplete.
Here we go. Ryan 38.
Back to the air on 2nd down. McMillan. It's a short one here, complete to his tight end. And they'll be inside the 25 now at the 24. 4 yards on the completion, and it sets up a 3rd down.
Well, the strategy was evident there. Get it to your tight end and make it a one-on-one play with a cornerback. Who's usually going to win that one?
The tight end, but not there.
Not in this situation. How about the corner defeating that logic and making a really nice tackle?
That'll go as a loss of 5. And that'll bring up a 3rd and 11 situation.
Here we go. Ryan 38.
From the gun, McMillan. Open man, it's Bennett. And they are able to stop him, but he does take it all the way to the 2. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal.
And in a lot of ways, that catch is expected. Red zone presence, and that one was realized there. You've got to find your tight end in that situation.
They'll try and run for it on 1st and goal. And the D not yielding much there. He's only going to get a yard to about the 2.
Well, it's been the air game that's taken them down on this drive before they finally turned around and handed it off on the last play.
And now they're looking for the big boys to get him in the end zone. Couldn't do it there.
It'll be interesting to see. Offensive lines had to pass block a lot on this drive. Will they be able to revert and fire out and create some space in the run game?
Now a 2nd down throw for the end zone, but it's incomplete.
Once you get into the red zone and the safeties have less ground to cover, You'd better be quick with your delivery. Not much space to get a ball in there.
Yeah, when that field shrinks with those safeties, it's almost like there's a couple extra defenders out there, right? And he will get in across the chalk for a Chargers touchdown. Nyheim Hines, his second touchdown on the season. And the Chargers have taken the lead here in the fourth quarter.
Well, they decided to run it in and got it done on 3rd and goal. A lot of times, that's a passing play.
And the kicker, this has to come out for the PAT. He can breathe a sigh of relief as well, right?
Although I don't know if he's really breathing a sigh of relief. I think he likes to put 3 points on his ledger.
Now, Dion Lewis to return. And he'll take it past the 25 and up to the 28-yard line. The Chiefs offense now making their way back onto the field. And following the interception, just any interception, are you a little bit more cautious when you start that next drive, or no, you just throw that out the window?
I think you are. I don't think that there's any way you can run back out there and go, totally didn't affect me. Let's just go ahead and be loose with the football again. You're going to take care of it, but you have to be careful about being too cautious because now you can't run any offense at all.
Still want to attack. We'll see how they attack them here. Stafford dumps it off to Lewis, and he'll get it up to the 33-yard line. It'll be a 2-yard gain, and they're going to face a 3rd down.
Everyone's got to be able to catch the football. Doesn't matter what position you play, but if you're on offense, be aware a ball may come your way.
Here's Stafford, and he will find his man on the end route, complete. And he will have a first down here at about the 40. Call it a gain of 7, and it gets him a new set of downs.
When an offense reads blitz, doesn't matter where it's coming from, tight ends know that they become a big part of the passing game because they should be an easy outlet when all those extra bodies are trying to get to the quarterback. A hot route, so to speak.
Looking for more there on first down, but this throw downfield incomplete.
Well, partner, I think the defensive fellas got the memo, and they decided to cover him on that play.
Yeah, he's already up over 100 yards in this game. They tried a deep shot, couldn't get it.
Yeah, when you've had that much success, finally someone said, let's try and put a stop to it and put people on him.
It'll be a 3-yard gain, and that's going to lead to a 3rd down. Stafford looks to throw again. And a quick throw here, that's complete. And he gets it down to the 48, enough for the first. First time they've looked his way in this game. He comes through, picking up the first. They'll fake the give. Now Stafford. He couldn't quite hold it. Got hit. Ball pops out, incomplete.
The beauty of being able to play a zone defense when you can sit back and see the ball coming out of the quarterback's hands, guess what? Creates a lot of confusion.
And the defense has it covered. It's intercepted. Cre'Von LeBlanc with a pick. And this is going to be a Charger touchdown. Making back-to-back weeks now with a pick 6 for him. He had one a week ago.
Talk about being in the groove, and what are the odds of what we're seeing right here? You don't see it happen very often. Listen, if you get a pick 6 in a season, it's been a big year, let alone back-to-back weeks. I'll tell you this, I wouldn't play cards against this guy in the locker room.
Extra point try good by Gano. And that pushes the lead up to 11. And here's Lewis. And he'll take this one near the 25, call it the 26-yard line. And now here comes Kansas City. And following the pick 6, and they have decent field position in throwing that pick 6. We'll see how they attack this drive.
And I think all you say to your guy is, listen, let's just take care of the football a little bit better. Make some better decisions on this drive, and they'll probably help him a little bit with maybe some really high percentage throws early to let him get settled back in.
But they told him, and they told us, they've got confidence. That's not a problem.
Yeah, not a problem at all. They just want to make sure they get things settled down a little bit for their offense and give their defense a little bit of a chance to rest.
To the sideline, and wow, what a catch there. He doesn't get a lot, but he was able to get the feet down complete. 5 yards on the catch there, brings up second down.
I do have to admit, I like it when it all comes together. When the top part, catching the football, right, whether you're catching it with your hands or cradling it, comes together with the legs in this case.
And he's going to be intercepted a third time. Picked off by Andre Howell. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back.
Partner, we always talk about possessions being at a premium in these games. And now in this situation, throwing an interception here when you have to claw your way back in, that one's going to hurt, and in a big way.
And a nice pickup as this one gets him to the 10-yard line. Just what you want on a first down run. Call it 8 yards, and it's 2nd and 2. Got to figure now, after getting that turnover, they're just going to be happy to keep the ball on the ground, right?
This is where covering the football, taking care of the ball, all the ball security terms that have ever been used, they come into play for the guys on offense right now. Just take care of it, and they've got a good chance of ending up winning this game.
Give the tackle there to Morgan Burnett.
And this is an absolutely big third down that's been set up here, partner, and there's no other way to put it. The defense has to get a stop here if they have any hopes of winning this game.
Pastor, you said big third down. I'd put the word big in capital letters here. They get 9 out of that one, and as a result, the drive continues. Time for a break. We'll come back to wrap this one up after this. So it's Charger football as we welcome you back from the 2-minute warning. And the scoreboard on their side, they're just looking to melt away these final couple of minutes and put this one in the left-hand column. And on the ground they go with a running back. And he's going to be taken down here with a penalty flag on the field.
Illegal block in the back. Offense.
So this will be accepted as it moves the offense backwards.
Here we go.
And they'll go ground game here with a tailback. And whistles, and we're going to have another stoppage of play as they call the timeout on defense with 1:53 left. So the defense had a chance to catch their breath, and now they're back out and ready. 2nd and long, but you got to figure this almost certainly another run.
Here we go.
And they'll run it here. And he'll take this one up over the 20 to the 21-yard line. Now a second timeout called for by the defense as they'll talk it over here before what will be an important third down.
Come on, let's go.
And they'll go with a ground attack here. And not too much going there as he'll get it up to the 23-yard line. And now time is called as we've got an injured Charger down there on the field. We'll step aside and come back to Carson after this. Here's the Chiefs punter now as he'll come on to kick this one away. Baldwin now to return. 12 yards on the return that time. And it's Chiefs football, 1st and 10. The 4th down run successful. Now they look to pay it off on 1st down. Trying to shake off the interception from the last drive. He'll look to throw. And it pops free. The collision there jarred the ball loose and brings up 2nd down.
Even without a ton of pressure in his face, it just shows how difficult it is to pick apart his own defense. Those guys are sitting back, and they're not playing receivers as much as they're playing the eyes of the quarterback and when he delivers the ball.
Throwing the out route incomplete. It's Jones. And able to rip off a big chunk of yardage before being dropped inside the 40. He got 29 yards that time. Now a 1st down throw. Stafford. Throwing the out route incomplete. It's Jones. 11 more yards that go around. A 1st down as well. Clock management definitely critical here if they want to get back in this game.
Absolutely agreed. They have to up the tempo in this case, down a couple of scores. Want to make sure they have a chance to win this ball game.
Throwing the out route incomplete. That's Baldwin. And he'll be brought down inside the 20 at the 19. A good pickup there. 8 yards on the 1st down completion. And they get up on it quickly and spike it with just a little over 50 seconds to go. And incomplete here, so a little razzle-dazzle on that one, but they couldn't hook up, and it's 3rd down. Now Stafford. Oh, he almost intercepted it. They're just forcing it into too many tough spots. That was almost a fourth pick of the game. And now fourth down.
Not only was the call spot on, how about the execution of that defense right there? The zone was absolutely locked up tight. He was trying to force it in there on third down.
But if there's a time to force it, he felt like he needed to make a play, right?
Yeah, exactly right. Third down, you got to try and find something. There's nothing available there for him.
And this is going to be recovered by the hands team. And that should just about put a capper on this one. Now, fourth quarter, they felt like they needed the football back. Unfortunately, they couldn't get it.
And I know we've brought analytics into the game, and someone has said here that the data says that when a team's expecting an onside kick, 80% of the time, the team expecting it, they do actually recover the ball, which is what we saw here. I just wonder if that number is much more of an anecdotal type of a number. Kind of like when the coaches tell us, well, when you score on special teams, 93% of the time you win the game. I'm still waiting to see that number is empirical.
Here we go.
Victory formation, time for the Chargers. They take a knee. And that kneeled down a little extra sweet. You get the win, and you knock out somebody's perfect season.
Yeah, you're exactly right, because it's not a championship game yet, but the team that's undefeated feels like a champion. So you want a little bit extra in this one. Yeah, they've got to feel great about taking a knee here.
Well, I know at points in this one you wanted to close your eyes because of all the points that were being put on the scoreboard. You're a defensive guy, but it was a fun little track meet, wasn't it?
It was, and you know, the